Hey, what's up, good people? It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know how I do it. It's Sunday morning. It's 6:24 in the a.m. and it's October 1st. I'm reading just for today. Man, I kind of like this reading. Can I say that? It's entitled Not Just the Motivation for Growth. And the opening statement is, we learned that pain can be a motivating factor in recovery. And I've shared with you that my pain, my grief, my hurt, my disappointment, all birth this ministry on this level. I want to say I started this ministry during COVID. There was some stuff going on a personal level that I didn't come to terms with. I want to say that. You know, God kept showing me bits and pieces. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. You know, and me and all my humanity decided that, hey, God, we're good. I see what you're telling me, but I got this. Amen. And I can't say that I didn't pray about it, but it was one of those prayers where, it was a cursory prayer. It had no conviction behind it. And so as time went on, I kind of refocused and attempted to go on with some other things. And I came full circle. Yeah. And then my mom got sick. And then it mingled with, that sadness, that pain, that grief mingled with the residue from the unresolved other issue. And that escalated. So the candle was being burnt at both ends. Or should I say there were wicks at both ends of the stick of dynamite. So at some point, something was going to blow. Amen. And again, God was showing bits and pieces. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. In me, in my, I want to say flesh, had to have the big picture. You can best believe now, God says move. I'm moving. I'm like, those videos that you see where you see people running and nobody ever stops to ask why people are running. They just start running with them. I'm that person. So God, you can tell me later. I just know I don't need to be here. Let me just get into this reading so you'll fully understand why I kind of like this reading. Again, let me open with the opening statement. We learned that pain can be a motivating factor in recovery, in healing, for change. Fill in the last part however you need to fill it in. What is it that you need from God? And are you in enough pain to go about doing the right thing in God? That's the question. The writer says pain. Who needs it? We think whenever we're in it, we see no good purpose for the pain. It seems to be pointless. It seems to be a pointless exercise in suffering. If someone happens to mention spiritual growth to us while we're in pain, we're most likely to snort in disgust and walk away, thinking we've never encountered a more insensitive person. See, pain is an indicator to tell you that something is wrong. And most of us have become so accustomed to operating in and with pain that we don't know that something is gravely wrong. Why? Because it ain't hurting bad enough yet. You know, you've heard me share the story about the hound dog that just howled all day, all night long. So much so, it disturbed the entire farm community. So one day, a neighbor comes over to the owner of the hound dog. It's like, look, your dog is disturbing the entire community, howling incessantly. What is wrong with your dog? And the owner says, well, he's been here. This is where he sleeps. And unfortunately, he's sleeping on a rusty nail. And the neighbor looks at the owner and it's like, well, why don't you just move him? And the owner says, I have several times, but this is his spot. So why don't you repair it? That's not my job. I can't repair it, but he's going to come right back to this spot. It's like, okay, I'm going to ask you again, why aren't you moving the dog? The owner just finally is just disgusted with this man asking him a million questions about why he's not fixing the dog or fixing the dog situation. When he knows full well that this is his favorite spot, this is where the dog's going to come, this is where his scent is, this is where he's marked, however you want to look at it. So the owner of the dog looks at the man and says, he'll move when it hurts him bad enough. Boom. That's the end of the story. Because that's us. We return to the same spots over and over and over again. May be different people. But we only move when it hurts us bad enough. There are people along the way who attempt to fix the situations for us. They tell us about the situations. They mark off the danger areas. But the bottom line is, what are you willing to do about it? Let me get back to this reading. It says, but what if a human being didn't feel pain, either physical or emotional? Sounds like an ideal world. Not really. If we weren't capable of feeling physical pain, we wouldn't know when to blink foreign particles out of our eyes. We wouldn't know when to stop exercising. We wouldn't even know when to roll over in our sleep. We would simply abuse ourselves for lack of a natural warning system. I'm pausing for effect. We would simply abuse ourselves for lack of a natural warning system. That sounds like the insanity of your life. You keep doing the same things over and over and over again, maybe with different people, but your spot is marked off. This is your territory. This is where you operate. This is how you operate. But you continue to declare yourself healed because this is your spot. You enjoy that temporary success, that temporary feel good, until it doesn't. But I guarantee that you know where every nail on that porch is. Getting back to the reading, it says the same holds true for emotional pain. How would we have known our lives to become unmanageable if we haven't had the pain? Just like physical pain, emotional pain lets us know when to stop doing something that hurts. My question is, what if you're the person that inflicts emotional pain? Is it their problem? Once you've given your gift? And if you continue to inflict emotional pain, wouldn't that make you a sadist? Because you don't have empathy for the person. You can't apologize for what you do. You can't make amends for what you do. Because that would somehow indicate that you're a bad person. Let me say this to you. You're a bad person when you don't make amends. You're a bad person if you continue to do it. And many of us do, and we call it something else. I'm not this. In order for me to be this, I have to have, and then you have your criteria. And because your criteria doesn't fit whatever mumbo jumbo you're reading or whatever somebody has dismissed because they benefit from you being sick, you're okay until that person upsets you. Let me get back to this reading. It says, just like physical pain, emotional pain lets us know when to stop doing something that hurts. But pain is not only a motivating factor. Emotional pain provides a basis for comparison when we are joyful. We couldn't appreciate joy without knowing pain. Amen. God is a God of order. God is a God of balance. Just because you're not experiencing your harvest of wrongdoing now does not give you permission to continue to sow seeds. And please, don't get me wrong. Let me say this again. God is a God of order. And there will be a harvest. Amen. There's a purpose and a power in pain. It can make you better, or it can make you bitter. It makes you better when you seek help. And it makes you bitter when you don't.